Well, we're on the road again. Just can't wait to get on that road again. Hi everyone. Hello, fellow Martians. How are you today?
I'm going stir crazy because I'm driving with this one.
Yes, apparently I'm driving her nuts, but hey, you know, there's still at least 4 or 5 hours go. If you hear about a serial murderer on, which highway are we on? Oh, God knows.
I have no fucking clue.
If you hear about a murder that happened somewhere between Brisbane and Rockhampton, the metropolis, the grand city of Rockhampton.
You mean the large country town?
Shush. Anyway, if you hear about a murder, that's me, okay? I basically pissed her off once too often and she killed me. That's okay because I'm sure that the dog will mourn me. She will stay with me even when I'm dead because she's that kind of person.
Pretty much, yeah.
Exactly. So, this week on Highway to Mars, we didn't actually record an episode because I had a bad day yesterday. Things just did not go right. And I had my bitch pills along the way, so, you know, I just was not in a good mood. And I really didn't need to be talking to anybody on the podcast.
I had noticed.
Just simply because it would probably have not ended well. And you know what? None of you need to hear me bitching about life, the universe, and everything. No, exactly. So, we have out on the feed, we have Star Trekking across the universe on the Starship Enterprise under Jean-Luc Picard. It really doesn't work, does it?
No!
Come on. You gotta let me sing.
Oh, it was bad enough when I had to sit through you singing in the Avengers podcast and then have to sit through you singing, editing the Avengers podcast.
When Captain America throws his mighty shield.
This is what I have to live with,
all
and this
those
is why he's
who
going
chose
to
to
die.
oppose his shield must yield. And of course, you all know that is true. Okay, so we did First Contact. Now, First Contact, we are looking at the Borg. And as with most of the Western world's obsession with the fact that transhumanism is bad, whether it be Borg or Cybermen or any of those sort of critters, it basically doesn't go particularly well for the Starship Enterprise. The Borg take over and they generally trash the joint. However, having said that, and this is something that I will point out, the Borg make a very clear statement in their various speeches, or the Borg Queen does, where she sort of indicates pretty clearly that she's after a Borg utopia. That in fact she's seeking perfection. That's basically what the Borg are after. They're not, you know, they're adapting people, other cultures to their technology, etc. And the bottom line is that they're seeking perfection. They're not just doing it for, you know, shits and giggles. They're actually trying to better themselves. And speaking as somebody who tries to get better every day, I feel like I feel like I have something in common now with the Borg.
Except for the metal bits.
Well, okay, all right. So I'm missing a few prosthetics, but anyway. And look, you know, I think that based on our conversation this afternoon, I did ask Phoenix a little bit about the Ghost in the Shell because I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. My plan was to watch it yesterday, but hey, you get that. And she explained that the central character was mostly cyborg, so
more or less, yeah.
That kind of makes it interesting because if she's more or less a cyborg, and we've just done the Borg, their depiction is obviously that the Borg are bad, have to be defeated, whereas in this case, she's actually depicted as a good thing.
Well, it's in the Ghost in the Shell world, it's actually quite normal to have like some form of cybernesis.
Yep, and that's
only one character, two characters have very minimal, cybernetic parts.
Yep, and I think that's kind of my point with all of this transhumanism stuff, that the East and the West have very different views about transhumanism, and secondly, that transhumanism doesn't have to be bad. I'm definitely of the camp that says that transhumanism is definitely not necessarily a bad thing. It all comes down to how it's implemented and under what sort of political environment it's implemented. So anyway, now midweek we are paying homage to David Bowie's Codpiece with a rerun of Labyrinth, one of my very favourite pieces of Jim Henson's work. Jim Henson, I so miss Jim Henson. of all of the people to die early, he was definitely one that I think we could have done without. Now, I like in particular the fact that Jim Henson's view of the best way to engage younger people and tell these stories was essentially to frighten the shit out of them. Introducing the Skeksis, which are, they're a terrifying in of themselves. Follow that up with Mr. Rapey, and and then to do the storyteller after that, which is where he digs into old stories and myths and legends, and pretty much tells them as they were in their day. So it never ends well. It's actually quite gruesome in places. So I really do appreciate the fact that Jim Henson was prepared to scare the shit out of little kiddies, because I really believe that the best way to educate people in that way is to scare the shit out of them. So now, coming up in the near future, we are going to be doing some politics. That's going to be our next thread. Now, yes, Phoenix is so looking forward to that.
No, I'm not. Because if our conversation earlier is anything to go by, I'm not going to be having fun at all.
Well, okay, so when we do politics, I've decided that the first two cabs off the rank are going to be 1984, and the other one that we will do after that is Fahrenheit 451. Now, the reason why I have picked 1984 and Fahrenheit 451 is increasingly, I guess, in the academic world, there is this kind of movement and push to destroy knowledge and destroy specific sets of knowledge. That specific sets of knowledge that people are kind of looking to trash at the moment is anything by white men. This week, Thunderfoot brought out a video debunking this group over in, this student over in South Africa who basically said, we need to get rid of all science and go back to the beginning. So you heard her, bang the rocks together, guys, and get on with it. Get out of your house, get rid of your clothes, put away your iPad, just bang the rocks, and feel free to go and kill the neighbor's cat, because you've got to eat, okay? And you've got to hunt, and you've got to go back to that, because we've all got to get rid of science, because science was created by white men. But I'm actually, while I might be being flippant there, this is actually something that does very much concern me. Is I never thought in my lifetime I would ever see a situation where in the Western world there was this movement, this push to either sanction knowledge or to, more specifically, to destroy knowledge, and there is this movement to control language in the way that 1984 does, this changing the meaning of words and adding new words that kind of, if you're not sure of something, let's add a new word, because, that's always a good way of doing things. Like up until a couple of years ago, I didn't even know what a cis white man was, much less that I was one. Apparently, who knew? 44 years of my life, I didn't know that I was a cis white man. So these are new words, these are new things, and while I am all for new words, new things, new knowledge and all that kind of stuff, and oh my god, we just hit a bumpy bit, while I'm all for that, I feel like, particularly in the social sciences, there is this huge push to relegate proper science and proper knowledge gathering off to one side, and basically, in preference, we want to have something a little less scientific and a little bit more ideological. And I don't really care what your ideology is. I think that the restriction of knowledge is a bad idea. So I thought, for politics, we'll probably cover those two. However, long before we get to there, we're going to get to the metropolis of Rockhampton. So we will do our midweek video, and we're going to keep up with the videos. So we'll do our midweek video Wednesday. We'll probably go down to the river, and so we'll allow you to see the river, because that's so special. Everybody needs to see the Fitzroy River. Hopefully there'll be somebody fishing, and even better if somebody manages to catch a fish.
That would be cool.
And we will see you midweek, and our end of week next week, we'll even though we're not podcasting, we'll still do an end of week video with what's going on in the feed, and that will be right at the middle of the Barra Bounty. So who knows, you might even genuinely get to see a fish, and I know how excited you all are for that. Alright guys, see you later.